about our guided meditation for today. So today's practice is going to be what we call kind of a scanning meditation. And so as I shared with many of you in the resource, just like when we drive our cars, we look ahead and then we continuously check our side and rear view mirror. Today, we're going to do the same thing in our guided meditation, where we'll check in with our head, kind of scanning for the thoughts and the presence of thoughts in our mind. Then we'll kind of scan our body for different sensations that we may be noticing. And then we'll also, scan our heart or our body for different emotions. And so the practice for today is really this constant sort of checking of what's going on in the mind, what's going on in my body, what's going on with my emotions and my feelings, and just kind of hovering over them, spending a little bit of time kind of exploring them, and then allowing our breath kind of to be our anchor, not only to create space, but possibly to soften some of these areas of discomfort, and if not, really just kind of noticing. And really just starting to pay attention to, what is going on in my mind, and remembering that simply by having a single point of focus, it gives our mind a break, and it can eventually calm our mind. And it might not seem as though our mind is completely calm, but as we continue to scan, we might start to notice a change. We might start to notice an ease or a softening or at least a slowing the more that we practice this. And then also starting to recognize kind of the connection between all of these points. That sometimes these in our mind, our thoughts can cause different emotions to arise. And spending some time sort of seeing, what does that feel like? Where am I holding that? Where am I recognizing or noticing that? Just like some of these emotions can then cause different bodily sensations that we have, whether it's some tightness or tension or overall discomfort, or maybe it's even just a sense of energy or a presence of something that, we didn't realize was there. And really just kind of noticing this kind of cause and effect that is naturally occurring inside of our body, and just spending some time watching it and just observing it. And at any point, of course, if it becomes too much, we always can retreat back to our single point of focus. We can always bring ourselves back to our breathing. So in our practice today, I'm going to start off with some breath work and some intentional breathing as a strategy for you. And then we'll also spend a little bit of time doing some breath counting, and I'll walk you through that process as well. And then we'll get into this scanning meditation. So as I've shared with you before, I am recording this, and it is just so that if you want to be able to go back and listen to this guided meditation in some time throughout the future, you absolutely can. This is the screen that you will see, and you won't be seen in the video or in the recording. And it'll give us an opportunity to be able to start off our session with a guided meditation or scanning meditation. All right, so allow us to get started. So finding a comfortable seated posture, one that is relaxed, but yet embodies presence and strength. A position that you can hold in stillness for the next few moments, but not likely one that you'll be willing or desire to move or fall asleep. And allowing yourself to settle into the space, feeling the comfort and the support of the space beneath you, whether it's your chair or your cushion or your floor. Allowing yourself to become acquainted with the noises that surround you, as well as the noises that may be inside of you as well. And beginning by placing one hand on your heart and one hand as your stomach. As you begin to intentionally take some deep inhales and exhales, filling your body with air on each inhale and allowing that air to be pushed out on the exhale. And as you continue to take these deep breaths, seeing if you can visualize this breath, this energy, moving up to your heart on the inhale and back down to your stomach on the exhale. Almost seeing a circular, consistent motion as one breath flows into the next. Feeling the rise and fall and seeing this exchange of energy as it moves up your body and then back down your body. And continuing this for 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And then allowing your hands to rest comfortably in your lap or resting on your thighs. Allowing your breathing to return to its normal rhythm. Making sure that your spine is nice and straight and that your posture is relaxed yet alert. And preparing now to do some breath counting. So in this, each inhale and exhale that you take, breathing at your regular pace, will be counted as one complete breath. Each inhale and exhale makes 2. Inhale and exhale makes 3. And today, for a short period of time, you'll continue counting each complete breath until either you reach the count of 10, which rarely ever happens, or you notice a thought or a distraction or something that takes you away from your focus of breathing and counting your breaths. So in just a moment, remember, the purpose of this is to naturally breathe and not to try to get to 10 as many times as possible, but more so just to see the state of your mind and the prevalence of thoughts and distractions that exist for you in this very moment. So for the next 3 minutes, please begin and continue counting your breath. And just noticing the presence of thought, noticing how quickly our mind begins to wander. And not judging yourself, but instead commending yourself for developing your sense of awareness and willingness to train your focus and attention. Now, as we continue our scanning meditation, allowing your focus to fade from your breath, but knowing that if at any point you feel the need, you can always return to your sense of breathing and that sense of energy moving throughout your body as your anchor to bring you back into this moment. So now, opening your field of awareness to your mind and potentially the thoughts that float by, and allowing yourself to watch thoughts just like you're watching clouds. Just noticing what that looks like. Maybe labeling it busyness of mind. And then returning back to looking for thoughts. Noticing our tendency to list or predict, our tendency to not want to forget, to try to remember. And not getting lost in these stories or thoughts, but just noticing. And also paying attention to what happens when we don't cling to one particular thought. Noticing how thoughts fade and new ones arise. And as we allow our focus on our thoughts to fade into the background, taking a moment to scan through our body and just noticing the presence of different sensations. Scanning from either head to toe or toes to head. Perhaps noticing some different tensions, different discomforts. Noticing where we feel those sensations. And then spending a moment kind of exploring what that feels like. And then continue scanning. Perhaps sending your breath to that area and seeing if you can get it to soften just a little. And if not, just noticing and continuing to scan. And as you find different sensations throughout your body, just exploring it, not trying to diagnose it or explain it, but instead just exploring it. Perhaps giving it a color, noticing if it moves, paying attention to what it looks like as well as what it feels like. Sending your breath to that area if that feels right. And if not, just moving on and continuing to scan. And then allowing our bodily sensations to fade into the background and checking in with how we feel. Noticing different emotions that may be present. And then paying attention to where we might feel them, as well as what they might feel like, how we could describe them. And again, seeing what happens when we simply do nothing but just watch and just explore. Returning now to scanning our mind for our thoughts, checking in on the busyness or thoughts and our content of our mind at this point. Noticing any difference or change, noticing what's there now. Allowing yourself to simply breathe. And then continuing to scan your body for different sensations. Again, labeling, noticing, exploring, and just being. And then exploring emotions again. Checking in, seeing what's there. In the last few moments of this meditation, using it as an opportunity to scan or to explore a little bit more deeply something that you've discovered or noticed. Use this time to drop in and notice what it feels like. Notice what it looks like. And just explore. And as our meditation comes to a close, taking this as an opportunity to again place your hands on your heart and taking one last deep breath in and smile. Being grateful for this opportunity to drop in and to also honor yourself in this deep way, cultivating this new way of being, but also a deep sense of knowing. And when you're ready and it feels right, you can begin to invite some movement back into your body, perhaps wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving your shoulders, wiggling back into your spot. And slowly, and when you're ready, begin to open your eyes.